Hello, my little students. Story time. I have a story to tell you. So, I wasn't really active on any social media lately, and I have a reason for that. The main reason is that I moved from Madrid to Los Angeles temporarily. So before moving to Los Angeles, I had a lot of things to do in Madrid. I had a lot of things to pause, to cancel, different memberships. I needed to go to the bank to activate my card so I can travel abroad. I had to call the phone company, etc. In my last day in Madrid, a lot of weird things happened. So yeah, I want to talk about that. Before coming to Los Angeles, I really wanted to go to my hairdresser to trim my hair and to dye it because I have a special relationship with my hairdresser. He understands me very well. He understands what I want. He knows what color suits me best, and he knows how to cut my hair properly, right? It's really hard to find a good hairdresser, a hairdresser that suits you personally. Quick note, I live next to a private airport, and there are airplanes flying back and forth, so I apologize for the noise. First thing in the morning, in my last day in Madrid, I went to the hairdresser to cut my hair and to dye it, right? When I got there, my hairdresser wasn't there. He was on vacation. So I said, all right. I said to myself, okay, I'll do it anyway because I want to go to Los Angeles looking good. So I did it. I sat on the chair, and there was a different hairdresser. I've never seen him before. So I explained to him what I wanted, and he started dyeing my hair, right? He put some dye on my hair, all good. But then 10 minutes later, my scalp started burning, and it was really, really itchy. So I called the hairdresser and I explained to him, this is what's happening. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. It's totally normal. All right, so I said, okay, all right, I'll trust you. You're the professional. 2 minutes later, literally, I could not stand longer. 2 minutes later, I call him back and I say, listen, I need to wash this off because I think I'm having an allergic reaction because it's really burning and I feel like it's eating my skin, and I don't want to go to Los Angeles without hair. So we washed my hair, washed that dye off, and it was really red, so I had an allergic reaction. Eventually I started feeling better, but my scalp was feeling very sensitive. So I said, all right, let's forget about the dye. Can you trim my hair a little bit? So I said, just a little bit, just like, 2 fingers, no more. My hair is so short. My scalp was feeling really sensitive, and it was like the skin was like tight. It was super dry and tight. A few days later, when I was like, even now when I rub my scalp, there are some like pieces of skin coming off. So yeah, I've never had this. It was really weird, but I was like, okay, never mind. My hair is still with me. I still have hair, and probably next time I have to test the dye on my skin, on my arm or something. But yeah, that was the first time that happened to me. After that, I had a lunch with my friend, with a quick lunch. We went to grab a burger. And so it was a new kind of burger. The cheese was really melted. So they put, the burger was like separated, right, in 2 parts. One bun was in one side and the other bun was on the other side. And they melt the cheese on a special pan, on a tiny pan, and they bring the cheese to you and they put it on top of the burger, freshly melted. So I thought it was something original. I've never had that before. So as I take the first bite, and I start chewing, I probably didn't chew well. And I swallow the food, and the cheese, the melted cheese was not breaking, so I would swallow the food and the cheese, and the cheese would not break. So I started choking. It was so scary. I had a really scary moment, and I had to like bend down, bend over like this. And I had to put my 2 fingers inside my throat to like take out the food, because I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. That cheese was not breaking, and that was scary. That was really scary. It was like, oh my God, is the universe trying to tell me something? Or what's going on? I just had a chemical reaction. Now I'm almost choked to death. It was weird. I started shaking. It was super nervous. And then I left the burger there for a while, removed the cheese, and I started picking at it. I like eating little by little, like small bites, and chewing really well. So chew well your food. Chew really well your food. So yeah, that was the 2 things that happened to me the last day in Madrid. So the next day, I went to the airport, and in the last moment, I had to check in a big suitcase, because I needed to bring my desktop computer, my iMac, and I decided to put it in my suitcase. So I took all my clothes, all of them, and I wrapped the computer in those clothes, and it was a hard shell suitcase to protect it even more. And then I wrapped the suitcase, so like to really protect my computer, because it's brand new. I bought it like 3 or 4 months ago, and this is where I edit my videos. This is where I work on my courses. So it's an important tool for my business, right? So okay, it was. I checked it in. I paid for it, and the guy at the airport. Sorry about that. The guy at the airport told me that my suitcase would be sent directly to Los Angeles, because I had a stopover in Boston. So I was flying from Madrid to Boston, and then from Boston to Los Angeles. It wasn't a direct flight. I couldn't find a direct flight. And the person at the airport, the worker, told me that my suitcase would be sent directly to Los Angeles, so I don't have to worry about my suitcase in Boston. I said, all right, great. The flight from Madrid to Boston, it was good. I slept. I was so tired. I was so exhausted, and I slept almost the whole flight. But the flight from Boston to Los Angeles, it was really long and uncomfortable. It was like 5 hours from Boston to Los Angeles, and the seats were very uncomfortable. And I am a tall person. I'm 5 feet 9.5, and centimeters would be 176.5. So I'm a tall person, and when there's no space in between the seats, my legs are like here, under my chin, and it was uncomfortable. I was in the middle as well, and yeah. Anyway, from my door, from Madrid, from the house in Madrid until the house in Los Angeles, it took me 22 hours. 22 hours to arrive. When I arrived to LAX, I had to grab my suitcase, right? So I went to the how you call that, luggage claim, or baggage claim, and I'm waiting, and my suitcase did not appear. I was like, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. I had such a long day, and now my suitcase is not here. And I was worried all the time that I really hoped that my computer wouldn't break. I was I was so desperate to like take my suitcase and open it right away to see if my computer was okay. So when I got there, my suitcase wasn't there, and I had to go to the office, to the baggage claim office, whatever, to open a case and to explain to them what kind of suitcase it was, what I had inside my suitcase. Anyway, it was a process. It was not fun. So I said, all right, fine. I just need to go home and take a shower and go to bed. So that's what I did. They told me that I have to wait maximum 24 hours. That's what they told me, that I should have an answer in 24 hours. If I don't have an answer in 24 hours, I should call them. All right, so 24 hours went by and I had no answer. So I decided to call. When I called, nobody was picking up the phone. I was like, oh my God. It was so stressful because that feeling of uncertainty, that all your belongings, like I had no clothes. This is not fun. And I know that this happened to several students of mine and several friends. But you don't really understand the situation until it happens. It actually happens to you. So I remembered all those stories when that happened to me. I was calling, nobody was picking up the phone. I decided to go to the airport. I went to my company. I'm not going to say the name. I went to the Spanish company, and I explained to them my situation. They took my information. They told me, oh, you should go to this American company and you should tell them again, ask them, maybe they have your suitcase, because that's like, it was their responsibility, because they were responsible for your suitcase from Boston to Los Angeles. I was like, okay, sounds good. Now I go to the American company and they tell me, oh, we didn't receive any information from the Spanish company because they have to tell us, because they didn't even send us the suitcase. Therefore, we don't know. It's not our responsibility. So the companies were blaming each other, and that was so frustrating, because you felt like, oh my God, nobody wants to help you. Nobody cares about your suitcase. Nobody cares about your belongings. This is like, all right, you're just another number, And anyway, I was really trying to stay calm, not get angry, not get frustrated. And I said, all right, whatever happens. I don't care. If I will never ever find my suitcase again, it's okay. There are objects and they can be replaced. I'm healthy, I'm safe, and that's the most important thing. That's all. So I was just like trying to calm myself down and convince myself that it's not a big deal, even though it was, because the computer was like 2,000 euros almost, and the clothes, they're not expensive, but you have like this emotional attachments to some of your clothes, and you're like, oh, that green dress that I love so much, I will never see it again. Anyway, the next day I received a call and they found my suitcase, and they told me that they would bring my suitcase home directly to my house around 8 p.m. Los Angeles time. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. So I was nervous. Now I was like expectant and nervous to see, okay, is my computer okay? Or is dead? So they bring it. The first thing I do in the living room, I rip off that plastic thing that it was wrapped in, and I open the suitcase and I see no cracks. I was like, okay, first step superado. Now I have to turn it on and see if it works. I turn it on my computer and it works. I was like, oh, I cannot believe this story has a happy ending. So yeah, it was pretty stressful. Everything, like coming here to this new country, was really stressful. It almost felt like I was not supposed to come here. I don't know, like it felt like the universe was telling me like, no, you shouldn't be here. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm really happy that it has a happy ending. Thank you for listening.